afternoon. It is Monday, November 5th, and welcome to the Panther News Network. I'm Chas Nolan.
I'm Haley Spivey, and here's what's going on today.
The man suspected of shooting two women at a Tallahassee, Florida yoga studio had been accused of harassing women in the area, according to police, and reportedly made misogynistic remarks on YouTube videos. In a prior case on June 1st of 2016, Tallahassee police responded to the clubhouse of an apartment complex swimming pool where a woman 19 told an officer that a tenant at the complex had touched her butt, according to a police report. The teen was at the pool alone sunbathing when the tenant, later identified as Beerly, sat down next to her and told her she had a nice butt, the reporter says. She thanked him and he offered to put sunscreen on it. She told him no, thank you. She did not need it, the report says. He then asked for her name. She obliged, and Beerly then slapped her butt and grabbed it, then shook it, before hastily exiting the pool area, according to the report. The victim initially did not want to press charges, but changed her mind the next day. There was security footage reviewed that confirmed the victim's allegations. Beerly was charged with battery. A Leon County clerk record indicates the case was dismissed in May 2017. 40-year-old Scott Paul Beerly posed as a customer when he walked into Hot Yoga Tallahassee on Friday evening and fired a handgun without warning. The yoga students fought back, police said, but 2 women were killed and 5 people were wounded. The gunman had fatally shot himself by the time officers arrived. Tallahassee Police Chief Michael DeLeo said, authorities say it's not clear why he carried out the attack. Investigators have not discovered any link so far between the gunman and victims of the yoga studio. On Saturday, police searched Beerly's home in Deltona and his electronic devices for clues. Beerly, who was staying at a local hotel before the attack, was visiting the city but was no stranger to Florida's capital. He graduated from Florida State University, and police said he had been the subject of prior calls for service in the Tallahassee area related to harassment of young women. Tallahassee yogis, as well as the healthcare and college communities, are mourning the 2 women killed in Friday's shooting, Nancy Van Vessem, who was 61 years old, and Mara Binkley, just 21. Binkley knew how to work with people in a positive way, her father, Jeff Binkley, told CNN. She just radiated love for everybody. You could see her life shines through just about everybody she met. That's consolation to us. After the Parkland shooting in February, Binkley stood up against gun violence and went to the Florida Capitol to support the Parkland students as they lobbied for change. And she became a victim, Jeff Binkley said. It's a cruel irony, a cruel irony. Binkley grew up in the Atlanta area and was attending Florida State University, where she was a member of the Delta sorority. After spending the summer studying in Germany, she was back for what would have been her last year in school. According to family, she planned to graduate in May with a double major in English and German. Van Vessem was a veteran physician who touched countless lives. She was a faculty member of Florida State, where she served as the chief medical director of Florida's Capital Health Plan. Expressed by her daughter, there had never been someone more selfless, more loving, supporting, and fabulous than her mother. On Sunday evening, FSU students and faculty came together for a vigil honoring Van Vessem and Binkley.
A man that was left paralyzed after eating a slug as a dare at his birthday party has died at age 28. Sam Ballard from Sydney, Australia, was 19 in 2010 when he ate the creature, which was infected with rat lungworm. Mr. Ballard fell into a coma for 420 days after contracting a strand of meningitis. Most people are said to recover from the illness, but has suffered from severe infection in his brain. Mr. Ballard, who used a wheelchair, was left paralyzed from the waist down. He died at age 28 on Friday after years of medical complications. Rat lungworm is a parasite found in a rodent. Snails and slugs can then become infected after ingesting it. Earlier this year, Mr. Ballard's friend Jimmy recalled the night of the party. He told the Australian Current Affairs show, The Project, we were sitting having a bit of a red wine appreciation night, trying to act as grown-ups, and a slug came crawling across. Mr. Galvin said he apologized to his friend for not stopping him from eating the slug. He added that when he did, Mr. Ballard started bawling his eyes out. Lisa Whitkerson said Mr. Ballard was surrounded by his family and loyal, loving mates before his death. He added that the last words to his mother were, "I love you." His mother, Katie Ballard, told the Daily Telegraph in Australia how tough his life had been for her son after the dare. Coming up next, a look at today's weather.
The Prairie View A&M Naval ROTC program was established in March of 1968. So at that time, during the Vietnam War, it was compulsory to be involved in a military program. So Dr. A.I. Thomas, the president of the university, was interested in establishing a naval ROTC unit to complement the Army ROTC unit that was already on campus. Interestingly, at the same time, the Navy was interested in expanding the diversity of the Navy and Marine Corps, and particularly the officer corps. And so it was a natural fit, and Prairie View A&M in March of 1968 became the very first naval ROTC unit established at a historically black college or university here at Prairie View A&M.
Prairie View A&M University has always been somewhat of at the point on the frontiers of change. And the Naval ROTC program was again one of those programs that was implemented to keep us out on the point. They knew that they being Dr. A.I. Thomas and others knew that the Navy was a front runner and it was pretty much an elite operation. And by allowing students from Prairie View to become a part of that would make us world-class leaders. And so the program was designed to take country boys like myself and expose them to a different world, a different set of values and rules and regulations, and we adapted. It changed. It was a game changer for us.
Me personally, I can honestly say that I wouldn't be here without this program. I'm from a small country town in Arkansas with about 10,000 people. This gave me an opportunity to get outside of my comfort zone. Being 40 minutes from Houston, I never thought I would see myself here. I always knew that I would be on a college campus somewhere, but I never thought or even dreamed that I would be in the United States military, particularly the naval service. This has given me a platform to be able to reach back and be a provider amongst my family. I also got to travel and see tons of the world, which is something that a lot of people, they really enjoy.
My job as a professor of naval science is to develop young men and women mentally, morally, and physically as they get ready to commission into the United States Navy and the United States Navy. Here at Prairie View, what makes it special is our midshipmen. And so you think about a unit that now is 50 years old, that has produced over 400 young officers in the Navy and Marine Corps, and to date 3 flag officers, which is a remarkable accomplishment. So Vice Admiral David Brewer III, Rear Admiral Kelvin Dixon, and Rear Admiral O.C. Combs Jr. Tremendous accomplishment to have 3 flag officers from a unit that early.
So what makes this program unique is that we are the first HBCU to establish an ROTC. And with that, I feel that we have a lot of shoes to fill. With those 3 flag officers, I feel that there could be more. And with our diversity growing, I think that we can accomplish that.
It helped to mold officers and we used to say gentlemen, but gentle women and officers. It helped to mold us. It gave us, again, skills that we didn't really know about.
The product that Prairie View has been able to generate over the past few years since I've graduated and even before then has completely changed the dynamic of what we're producing for the fleet. Whenever you go somewhere now, your first ship, like myself, when I reported on board the USS Vandergrift, my weapons officer was a Prairie View graduate. So it's pretty nice to know that they're turning out products that are actually staying in to pursue their military career.
And I've met so many amazing people that want the same goal as me, and with that, I feel it just makes me want to be better as a person and hopefully bring that out of the Navy later in the future.
And I can't say what the next 50 years will hold when you think about modern warfare or what will be needed from a military service. But I do know that if we remain committed to ensuring that our midshipmen are able to think critically, to function as a team, to build individual resilience, to take the enormous amount of data that's available to them today and be able to sort through to get to what matters, to be able to problem solve in a complex and ambiguous world, that our Navy and Marine Corps is going to be in great shape over the next 50 years and beyond.
Welcome back. A look at the weather today. According to the weather app, you will be experiencing a high of 81 and a possible low of 68 degrees.
Many grieving teenagers began arriving Sunday afternoon to pay their respects to slain sisters Isabella, 15, and Maria Perez, who was only 14, who authorities found shot to death alongside their stepfather in the Katy home after a possible murder-suicide. The children came with flowers and heartfelt condolences pinned on cards and posters. They hugged, cried, and consoled each other under a tree at the home where the Perez sisters lived in the 3800 block of Silverhawk Drive. After learning of their death, Maid Creek High School student Catalina Silva, 14 years old, said she woke up to her parents in tears. She had known Isabella and Maria since the 3rd grade, and each memory, she said, was precious. She last saw the girls who lived down the street from her in the Westfield subdivision after school Friday to get a pep talk from them. I keep thinking about our last moments together, Catalina said, crying alongside her mourning friends. They were cheering me up because I was going through some stuff. The sisters were close, and their friends described being friends with both of them. Joe Lopez, 14, who had been dating Maria for more than a year, brought a toy soccer ball to add to the memorial because she loved sports. He said Maria had dreamed of being a model. She was so excited to celebrate her birthday next Saturday with a party, he said. News of the slaying quickly spread on social media, where 14-year-old Jessica Hernandez found out her best friend Isabella had been killed. Everyone was posting about it in Snapchat and Instagram. I didn't believe it, Jessica said after being dropped off by her mother. I cried, mostly yelled, not believing that it was true. Deputies made the tragic find in an upstairs bedroom after a pre-dawn phone call from the teen's mother, Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said. The mother, Reina Isabella Perez, was unable to find her daughters or husband after returning home from a night out around 3:30 a.m. and phoned police, according to authorities. Deputies found the teens and their stepfather, Victor Portillo, shot to death in the bedroom. The slayings were likely a murder of two and suicide, Gonzalez says, attributing their deaths to a possible act of domestic violence. Harris County records show Portillo owned the home where he and the girls died. At times, Isabella hinted to her friends that something was not right in her family. She always said there was problems, but she could never really talk about it, Jessica said. It was too hard for her. I didn't force her to tell me anything. She has tried her best not to think about what led up to the shooting. When the teens returned to Maid Creek High School on Monday, they plan to honor the sisters by wearing red and black.
A newlywed couple died early Sunday after a helicopter carrying them from their wedding crashed. Will Byler and Bailey Ackerman Byler were both seniors at Sam Houston State University, and news of their death was first reported by the university's independent student newspaper, The Historian. The Historians posted on Facebook and said, "It is with deepest sadness that we announce the tragic passing of two Bearcats, Will Byler and Bailey Ackerman Byler, in a helicopter accident departing their wedding. We ask that you keep the Byler and Ackerman families in your thoughts and prayers." Authorities received a call reporting a possible downed aircraft around midnight Sunday, according to the county sheriff's office. The crash occurred in northwest Uvalde County, about 100 miles west of San Antonio, Texas.
Our prayers and our hearts go out to all the families that suffered tragic losses over the weekend. And remember, guys, tomorrow is the last day to vote. Your voice matters. Your opinion matters. You have to make a difference. Thank you for watching the Panther News Network. We will see you Wednesday.